Good morning, Savers. I think winter is officially here. First 2 weeks of September. Got a huge rain last night, and you may have witnessed a miracle. It's 9 o'clock and I just got up. I'm just an early morning person, but one of the habits I'm trying to build is just better sleep and more of it. So I'll kind of share as we go along with that. But had dinner with Brandon and Charlotte and their beautiful kids last night. Just a wonderful time. Hadn't seen them in a long time, so that was awesome. And so simple is the theme, last theme for the week here. Your wife is always right. Very simple. I think I'm going to get that tattooed on my forehead, and that is by the actor Hugh Jackman. Well, Hugh, you've always seemed like a pretty wise guy. And this actually may be all the quotes we've talked about from scholars and politicians and professors and philosophers. This may be one of the most important quotes. And so I think that's just a good life lesson. So I agree, Hugh. Life is simple. When Mama's happy, everybody's happy. So if you've ever encountered that situation where you were right, we had the conversation the other day. We were talking about personality styles and Myers-Briggs, and there's all kinds of personality profiles, but Tanya read hers and I reread mine, and we're coming back from horse lessons, and Tanya said, it's amazing that we're still together, because your personality thinks it's right always, and my personality always thinks it's right. And so when you have two personalities that always think they're right, there can be conflict. And I don't know, I kind of think of the projects that we work together on. Tanya's got a way to do it, and I've got a way to do it. I think, there's a lot of time the outcome is very similar or the same. It's just how we arrive at it is different, and that's okay. Nothing wrong with that. So, maybe Mama can be right and Daddy can be right too. That's a interesting thought. If you're new to the channel, thanks for joining us on the morning walk, where we kind of start our day with a way to think and conscious thinking about the day and how we want it to be, and just building habits to have a savored life. So I'd love to hear your comments. Subscribe and join us in the morning walk. Okay, well, we did hear from Frank. He has not been abducted. He's actually in Florida, rekindling an old flame from high school. So I'm not sure who this is, but I don't want to approach too much. He said he is, so maybe some family or friend from Florida as well, because he said it was Airbnb in our front yard. So we'll figure that out. But let's take a quick bloom report. Everything's kind of dying, but still things are growing. So these are kind of sadly doing their last bloom. Those are still struggling to stay up. Last one here too. And this fig tree is fighting to stay alive. I think I'm just going to let it grow, and then there's ways to cut that off, and then essentially start a new tree and replant it so it's got one strong, stable base. That was the issue before. The deer came and tore the figs off and split the tree, killed it. Not much going on in here anymore. Got our 2 zucchini for the season. It was a cold and wintry season. And there's our new friend. The blueberry bush. This is so funny. There's one. Here's the other one, and then so this thing is producing like crazy. We've gotten, I don't know, 3, 4 pounds, 5 pounds. I don't know if that's a lot, but there's still quite a bit in there we need to go get. This is taking off. I have to trim that down. I'll take over the wall. This area is really filling in finally. Just have a little bare patch here still. And we are going into growth zone here. That grass, I lost Tanya behind it the other night. We're outside and I couldn't see her. We're gonna need to do a little trimming. The path is getting a little tight here. And here's another one of Frank's friends, I'm guessing. These are just around here the other day. I was like, wow, this area is starting to fill in just like we want. If you've ever been to a McMinimum's where they have outdoor stuff, it's always really full, and that's kind of the look we're looking for. But we'll see. That's filling in really nice, and we are in great production mode. It's interesting, they still have, if you know anything about grapes, doesn't that seem weird that there's little baby ones on the same bunch? But super sweet. These little red ones are delicious. We've definitely not been out in the backyard much the last couple weeks. I've got my first heirloom tomato. I've got a couple more going. We'll see if the season will have enough sun. Wanda's tomato plant, I think, doubled my growth, so it would probably go here, but they're actually kind of bending over and coming back down, so we'll see if we even get any more tomatoes. Lack of sun. And the peppers, Thai peppers are coming on. Should have there's another plant over here. Oh, there's a couple there. Oh, there's one. Basil about ready to bolt. San Marzano, I think all in one, I got 2 tomatoes off of it this year. And if the persimmon tree looks shorter, it is, Tanya took, I think, a third or half of the persimmons off because it was just starting to droop so much. And they don't grow. This may be about the size they're gonna finish out at. But look at the droops and they're loaded. So if we start seeing a branch split off, I guess we'll take more off. I woke up kind of a sore throat, just didn't feel good, so I didn't go to the game today. But just hanging out with the boys here. Not sure where Fergus is. Tanya went over and took the meat salsa. Been working on videos, and just want to thank you for joining us on the morning walks, and I think ultimately with a little retooling of the kind of the mission statement for Simple and Savored. It's really looking at simple habits to create a savored life. And I think so many times our habits, well, all the times our habits either make it or break it for us. And really looking at who you want to become and creating the habits to do that. So join us. It is coming down. My Lord. Let the winter begin.